What are the key forces now that will tilt this indecisive market one direction or the other? Here to help us answer that is Solus Alternative Asset Management's Dan Greenhaus. Hey, Dan.
Hey, thank you for having me, sir.
Sure thing. Now, we've obviously been, there's a lot of rotation under the surface of this market, but in aggregate, we've kind of been on hold for about a week and a half, as I guess we try to get some clarity on a few things. Are any of the reactions after the election, or even just the trends before that, do they seem overplayed in the short term? Does it feel like the market has it roughly right here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything's been overplayed. I mean, listen, we obviously don't know exactly what policies are going to be implemented. We don't know when the tariffs, any larger trade war items, any additional tax cuts beyond an extension of the TCJA. So there's a lot of uncertainty here. I think obviously markets should have rallied in the wake of the election. Obviously that's the most business-friendly environment you could hope for, the red wave, so to speak. And some digestion of that, given where we were, not the worst thing in the world. I mean, obviously the markets have gone straight up, both equity and credit, for some time now. So a week and a half of trading sideways, hardly the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and I guess, again, I keep coming back to the point that the starting level, in many ways, was just not as if, we were ready to spring ahead, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the market was up a lot, you pull back a little bit.
Sure, but going into the election, people had degrossed. We knew this across the street. Hedge funds had taken down gross exposures, even net exposures. And so you had everybody have to ramp back up after the election. And that's why you saw in small caps, mid caps, and other election-related plays such a strong post-election rally. Now that we've settled in and we have a better idea that the red wave is indeed a thing, the House obviously has been called, we can take a minute and digest and see the cabinet appointments and the likely path for policy.
The thing that it absolutely does, though, it really focuses maybe in excess of attention on these individual possible impacts. I'm just wondering, the pharmaceutical sector as a whole is down 12% in a month. Food stocks getting blasted because of what might or might not happen in terms of, food ingredients and everything, with all the headlines. And, as was just being said, Intuit getting slammed today on the hint that we might have a free way to file our taxes. It just feels as if a lot of this twitchiness in the market is a function of people thinking like it should be a policy-driven market, whether it is or not.
Yeah, listen, it probably will be. RFK at HHS.
Not to mention crypto, by the way. Yeah.
That's right. Can't ignore that.
Yeah.
RFK at HHS could be a game changer. There's no doubt about it. And I don't want to speak to the validity of the vaccine makers being down as seems as a starting point a safe bet to make. But listen, we'll have to see exactly what unfolds. I highly doubt the way government operates in a sclerotic, molasses type way makes it very difficult for anybody, be it Elon and Vivek on the outside or RFK on the inside, to rapidly affect wholesale change. But we'll see. But I will say, the idea that you would have these adjustments in a number of names, not just in healthcare, but on the positive side as well, really is, I would argue, justified, because in many respects, the incoming administration is going to be, the hope is that it's going to be a game changer. And if it is, then a lot of these plays have much more room to rally. I will add, though, when we talk about the market as a whole, there's a lot going on that's not just technology, that's not just policy. You have United Rentals doesn't stop going up. Obviously, that's about the broader economy. You've got, continuing with the industrials, you've got Eaton, Train Technologies, Howmet, they're not all the same, but they keep going up. There's any number of different slices of the market.
That all feels like data center build-out.
Well, yes, I mean, Vistra and Eaton and the HVAC plays are a silo of AI. But even beyond that, the OTAs, Netflix, I mean, obviously that's a technology name, but it's really a consumer name. There's any number. Listen, the S&P is up 25% year to date. Called 25%. There's 200 stocks, 175 stocks, whatever it is, that are doing better than that are up 45, 55, 60%, and they're not all AI. They're not all policy-driven plays. There's a lot of otherwise going on.